Aloha! I am back for another vlog. How are you all? Hope you're well. Hope everything's going well with you all. Um, well, what has my week been like? Um, last week, unfortunately, I missed a couple of days of work. I can't remember if I don't think I mentioned this actually, or in the last vlog I did. I can't remember. I don't think I have. But yeah, I had a couple of days off. I think it was last week from work. A couple of sick days. Um, yeah, I'm gonna spare you the details because you never know. Somebody might be having their tea, but yeah, basically I was not feeling very well. Basically just feeling a bit sickly. To just give it a term, and I just felt absolutely whacked of energy. And so, but obviously with policy procedure at my job, anything to do with like the flu, cold, sickness, having to go to the toilet a lot, things of that nature, you basically have to, the standard policy is 48 hours. You have to basically take at least 2 days off work for whatever it is in your system to hopefully start to go away. And it gives you a couple of days to maybe get some medication down you and things of that nature if you need it. And so yeah, unfortunately I lost a couple of days work last week, but I am feeling a hell of a lot better now. Yeah, I'm feeling a lot better this week. I'm nowhere near as bad as I was last week or whatever. But it's just one of those things. I think it must have been like a 24-hour bug kind of thing, and but unfortunately, I lost a couple of days' work as a result of it. Because as well, I've got to be very careful because it's food hygiene. I work in a factory where I'm surrounded by raw foods, and the last thing I want is to be wet at work and I need to possibly be, sick. And it's not really the environment for that to happen, because I could cause contamination, and that's the main problem. So that's why they do the 48-hour thing away from work so that you can recover a bit. So yeah, so that's that. This week, since getting back, since me putting a full week in this past week, finally when I finally went back to work and everything. Yeah, just work's been fine. Work's not been too bad, actually. Because obviously now I think I've mentioned this a bit ago in a vlog. I'm no longer working in the department I used to be. I am now working in basically what's known as EV, which is basically working on the basically like, not a production line, but sort of like a production line. It's basically where it all comes in through the factory and gets sorted out, and then it goes to packing, and then from packing goes to the warehouse slash distribution area. So basically, I'm now working actually inside the factory itself, not where I used to be, which was the loading bay distribution side. So now I'm currently working in there, in the factory. So they've moved me. I think I've mentioned this before anyway, but anyway. So that's where I've been working now for the past, how many months has it been now? At least a good 6 months, 6 or 7 months at least. So yeah, so that's what I've been doing at work. But work's not been too bad since I moved departments, because I was having a few issues. I'm putting it down to a bit of harassment at work with a little bit of prejudice. I'm going to say that. I'm not going to go into details with that kind of thing, but there was a couple of factors in play when I was working in the loading bay side, and I was subjected to a little bit of harassment and possible prejudice because of me being English. and I was surrounded mostly by Polish. And I'm not saying anything against the Polish people as a whole. You know, in every race or in the world, you get good people and you get your bad people, or you get those that take the piss. You know, it's like everyone. It's like everybody on this planet. You get your good and your bad. I'm not going to put everyone into the same bracket. But I'm just saying, unfortunately, some of them that I worked with were a bit problematic. And I was constantly the butt end of the joke of whatever the joke was between all of them. And it kind of caused a bit of stress for myself. And I wasn't very happy with myself, really, when it came to working in there. Even though I did enjoy the job to a degree, it wasn't a difficult job at all. It was really easy. Just sorting stuff out and putting the boxes on pallets, really, ready for it to go off to, shrink wrap, and then get stored so it can go out on the trucks. So it was an easy job, and I preferred it because I was on the go more. I was walking back and forth. I was actually getting quite a bit of exercise in per day, and I was getting pretty decent hours in as well. But now that I've moved, my hours aren't as long, because when the process stops, when all the stuff comes through and the last bit comes through, and when the last bit comes through, then outside where the trucks come in, they finish first, and then we're usually the second person to finish in the factory to go home. And because loading bay where I used to work, they finish quite late. Once everybody's basically there's two departments at my place that can be quite late. Actually, no, there's three. I don't know what I'm talking about. There's actually three. Sometimes there's three. Loading bay, literally, they are the last ones to leave in a day. They are literally the last ones because they're distribution, and they've got to get ordered. You've got orders, online orders, then you've got physical orders being picked up physically, and then you've got the loading of the trucks, and then you've got the actual. There's all sorts of jobs, and then there's gas flush as well, which is another thing that they're doing there. So there's like multiple different things going on in one day, and it can take a bit of time depending of the amount that's coming through. But then you've got the packing. They usually are quite late finishing compared to myself. At least an extra hour or two more, depending. And then there's the portion section as well. They usually finish between 6 and 7 every day, which is again another hour or two past usually when I finish. So I'm essentially losing out on at least a good hour or two. 2 hours, at least an hour or 2 hours, between an hour and 2 hours per day, because they've ended up moving me, and I didn't really have much of a choice in the matter, to be honest, because that's part of policy as well. If they want me somewhere else, I've got no choice but to move on. It's in my contractual obligation agreement and everything, so I can't really do much about that. But anyway, so yeah, that's the only downside to it, is that I'm not getting as many hours as I was. I was between 12 to 13 hour days before, and I was getting pretty good money. I get paid weekly, and I was getting pretty decent money per week. And obviously I get overtime rate as well. Once it goes over 39 hours, I think it is. Once it goes up to over 39 hours, then it automatically goes up per hour. So I was actually getting quite a bit on the overtime rate. when I used to be in Loading Bay. I'm still getting a little bit of it now, but not as much as before. So, yes, so that's that. But yeah, I'm feeling good in myself this week. I'm feeling better. Work's not been as bad. I'm able to have a bit more of a laugh with the people I'm working with now, which is the main part of it, which does kind of make things a little bit easier when you can kind of like, we're not best buds, we're not best friends, if that makes sense, but we kind of get on with one another when we're working together, and we usually, can have a bit of a laugh. And I do work with two other people that are also English, which was something that I didn't really have much in Loading Bay. When I first started in Loading Bay, there was 4 English people, 4 of us, including myself. There was 2 people that were doing other jobs in the Loading Bay area. Yeah, so no, yeah, 4. So yeah, there was one guy was 2 guys were forklift drivers as well as doing other things. And then yeah, and then there was me and another guy who pretty much did the other jobs as well. So when I first started in Loading Bay, there was 4 English guys, which was better. But when I ended up being moved, I was literally the only English guy working in there, which caused some issues. I generally don't think the people I was working with liked the idea of me working with them, because I didn't understand Polish properly. So I generally think they wanted to try and keep it 100% their country or their language. So I think that's probably why I ended up being moved in the end, to try and keep people happy, which is annoying. But hey ho, I still come home with money. I still earn money. I still earn a wage. So I'm not going to really argue about that. I don't care. I'm still employed. That's the main thing. But yeah. So the next part of the vlog I wanted to talk about. I kind of went on a tangent there. I wasn't really going to talk about work, to be quite honest, in this. But yes, we are now. How many days? I think I'm about 12 days away now. About 12 days away. I've got a countdown thing there. Just pop it up on the screen. Yeah, so it's 12 days and 13 hours when we fly out to Spain to Salou for a week, me and Smithy. That has come round very, very quickly. It's actually kind of scary of how quickly that came round, because it literally feels like we only just booked that holiday about a month ago. It only feels like we only booked it about a month ago, but we've had it booked and completely paid off for at least about 4 months. At least about 4 months. So it is quite amazing, really, of how quickly it's come round. And to be honest, I am looking forward to it. It's going to be nice. It's going to be a nice change of pace, because it's like the second time I've ever been abroad. And well, I won't say I have been abroad before with my parents. I have been to places outside the UK, but it's the second time only that I've actually been on a plane and gone to a different country completely and gone somewhere else. So it's the second time second time I've ever flown in a plane. I've travelled on a plane. So yes, it's going to be an interesting week. It's a bit crap that it's only a week, but the only reason why it is a week, I mean, I prefer to go for at least 10 days, or like a week and a half, or 2 weeks max. I prefer when I go abroad or go somewhere else, that is usually the duration I would prefer. But the problem is, this Spain holiday idea was actually a plan B option. Because originally we was going to do Ireland. We was going to go to Ireland for a week. But for some reason, we wanted to go to Dublin because Dublin is a place I've always wanted to go, as well as Smithy, and we wanted to do the Guinness Brewery tour, and we wanted to basically just check out Dublin. But apparently, upon looking into it, there isn't actually that much in Dublin except for the Guinness Brewery tour, and there's nothing really that much to do. Most people, when they go to Dublin, it's usually a weekend thing. They'll probably go for a long weekend, probably travel up on the Friday and come home probably on the Monday, something like that. So you're only really meant to, it's only something you would do for like maybe 2 or 3 days, never really a week. Apparently there is other parts of Ireland that are much better for tourist stuff. So, but yeah, that was the original plan. We was going to go to Ireland for a week, but it was way too expensive. We even looked at a hotel, and it's actually on the outskirts of Dublin. It's not nowhere near the city centre. It's like right on the outskirts. And we did that on purpose because obviously usually you pay more in a central location. You pay more for hotels. Usually you pay less. The hotels usually on the outskirts of a city centre or somewhere else that's not as central. Usually a bit cheaper. We even had a look for B&Bs as well and things of that nature, and it wasn't getting much luck. We weren't getting many options. So, but yeah, it was way too expensive. We just really couldn't accommodate it within the time frame from when we started saving up and everything and looking at it. We just couldn't really do it this time around. So we actually, just out of curiosity, had a look online and Smithy said, had a look at a few different places. So we were looking at Turkey, we were looking at Spain, Benidorm, Salou, where we're going. There was a few other places. I think there was a place in Greece as well we were looking at. And yeah, a few different places. And we noticed that for probably around about the same price as it would have been for Ireland, give or take, I think it was actually a little bit cheaper than Ireland. But for a week, we could actually fly and go somewhere abroad for pretty much near on the same price as it would have been for Ireland. I'd say it's not exactly the same price. We have saved a little bit of cash with going to Spain. But it just goes to show that just to basically stay on your own doorstep or to go around the UK, it costs just as much as it would do to go abroad, or if not more, to go to a different country. Just to go somewhere in the UK for a week or two. It's getting ridiculously expensive in the UK, it really is. And it's a lot cheaper to travel elsewhere, go to some other places. A hell of a lot cheaper than it is to travel the UK or whatever. But yeah, it's I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be good. And then obviously, what is it, about roughly a month when we finally fly back, when we come home from Salou. A month after I get home, roughly a month, and I'm at TFN. So yeah. So I'm very much looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to TFN. Very much looking forward to that. And yes, I'm very, very much looking forward to that. That's going to be good. That is really going to be good. I'm very much looking forward to what they've got in store again. And see some people that I never got to see when I went to Manchester Minicon, TFN Minicon. So it's going to be good. I'm quite happy with this year, really, because usually per year, going by last year and everything, me and Smithy, we usually go on a caravan holiday. We usually at least do 2 of those per year. Or we usually do a couple holidays per year. And I think last year we went to Caton Bay, and then earlier on we went to Reeton Sands. So we went twice in a static caravan holiday. So we usually do a couple things a year, but this year, unfortunately, we haven't been able to really afford to do more two things. So this holiday in Salou, Spain, is kind of to make up for that. And but yeah, I'll be going away as well to TFN for the weekend, which I'm looking forward to. But yeah, it should be good. I am really looking forward to it. It's going to be bloody good. It's going to be bloody good. Well, anyway, that's going to be today's vlog, people. Thank you ever so much for watching. So what I'm going to do, the next vlog you might see from me might possibly be the pre-Salou Spain vlog. I might do a vlog before then. I don't know. It just generally depends on what happens and if I'm busy or not in the meantime. But I do want to get a vlog out, a pre-vlog, to start off the whole vlogging process for the holiday. So I will probably be doing a pre-Spain vlog, basically kind of like me packing, getting ready for it to go. Luckily, I'm literally off. I finish work on the Thursday, obviously, because I only work Monday to Thursday. So I've got all day Friday off. So the Friday, I've got to drop my car off. Well, either myself or my dad or both of us, whatever. At some point on the Friday, I've got to drop my car off at the dealership, because my car's picked up a problem with a gearbox. I noticed apparently there was like a squeaking sound coming from the clutch when I was pressing it down and then bringing it up to the bike position. And my dad had a look at my car, and he said that he thought it was either the slave cylinder or the master cylinder, something coming from that, and it wasn't actually the pedal, it was something else. And then so my dad managed to thankfully managed to get my car booked in for Friday just gone. And so we took my car in and finally picked it up around about 5 o'clock, about 4:30, I think it was. No, about 4:30, 5 o'clock. Went and picked my car up, and they said that unfortunately the noise that I was hearing, it's something that's gone in the actual gearbox itself. So that's going to be a possible 2-day job to get it rectified and fixed and back to me. So basically I've got it booked in to be dropped off on Friday, which is the 30th. Friday the 30th, which is like the last day of June. So the last day of June, the Friday, my car's getting taken into the dealership again to get the job done. And then once I've done that, me and Smithy are probably going to meet up and go and get our holiday money transferred into euro. And then once we've done that, then we'll probably come back home and get everything packed up, ready, and go from there. I think we have to set off around about 7 or something like that in the morning. I think about 7, half 7. I think the flight is around about, I don't know if it's around about 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock in the morning or something from Leeds Bradford Airport. So something like that. I've got all the details, I can always find that out. But it's going to be a relatively early set-off time to get to the airport. But hopefully I'm going to try and get a vlog out anyway, regardless of me kind of like packing stuff. I might maybe kind of like try and get Smithy involved in the vlog as well. Basically, others meeting up and getting the money transferred. Or getting the money changed into euros and everything, and probably get Smithy in the vlog. So I'll see how things go with that. And then there'll probably be a bit of a, obviously I won't be able to upload anything while I'm away. Oh, I don't think so. So obviously the next time I'll be uploading will be when I finally get home. And I can, because like I say, I've only got the Sunday off, and then I'm back to work. It's gonna be one of those things where I'm gonna be knackered. Because we were hoping to go to Spain on the Friday, fly out on the Friday rather than the Saturday. So I was going to fly out on the 30th, but we're actually flying out on the 1st, which is the Saturday, 1st of July. But what we wanted to do is, we wanted to fly out on the Friday, we fly back home on the Friday, and it will give us the Saturday and Sunday to basically get some rest before going back to work. It gives us a couple of days to readjust ourselves from being away and get ourselves back into some sort of thingy to go back to work. But unfortunately, it's going to be about 6. I think it's about 6 o'clock in the evening that we actually land back in the UK. So by the time we get back from Leeds Bradford Airport back to Hull, it's going to be at least an hour and a half, and maybe roughly, depending on traffic, about maybe an hour and a half, fraction of 2 hours. So we might be get back in Hull at about 8 in the evening, but at least we'll have Saturday evening to relax, and I'll be able to have a bit of a sleep in on the Sunday. But Sunday's going to be literally the only day where I'm going to have a day to myself, basically, and then back to work on the Monday. But it's one of them things. But I am back. I'm out of work for like maybe 3 weeks, give or take 3 or 4 weeks, and then I'm off again for TFN. So I've booked a week off for TFN as well, holiday wise. So yeah, got that. So it's not a problem. So there we go. That's the vlog. Thank you so much for watching. I shall be back with more videos very soon. And I will be, like I say, I will upload a vlog. I will be uploading a vlog, a pre-Spain holiday vlog. Probably, like I say, it's on the Friday the 30th. Friday the 30th is when I'll probably try and upload that. And get people in the mood for the whole travel vlogs. And so that will be that.